On this episode, we're going to continue more with Gatoh Move's latest tag league, OOAK Tag League, with day 4. Also, New Japan Pro Wrestling continues with Kizuna Road on day 11th. I'm sorry I could not get some of the days that's supposed to be on New Japan Demand because they don't broadcast it. It was a live house show type of event. Also, we got NXT UK and also Impact Wrestling. So, let's get started with another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jared. So, let's begin right now with Gatoh Move's ChocoPro events with the continuation of OOAK Tag League. If you guys want to know what that means, it means one of a kind tag league. We're in day 4 so far. So we only got 2 matches, each from the blocks. So let's go with Block B. We have White Komenase, consistent of Tokiko Kirihara and Antonio Honda, taking on Melt Brain Dancing, which is Chango and Psycho's group. This match was pretty interesting because it had a bit of the comedy routine, but a bit of the aggressiveness. Because if you look at Antonio Honda, he's a bit of the comedian, but as Chango and Psycho, they're a bit of the aggressive type. So basically, there's some good moments from both sides. But however, in this particular match, both Melt Brain Dancing mostly only has one win so far. As for White Comenase, I think I don't know how you pronounce it right. They only have like 2 losses. So basically, they're already out of the tag league, but they will continue to participate regardless of everything else. But the match itself was great. I mean, I did enjoy where they try to use Emi Sakura, who's the ref, but however, the match ended in a time limit draw. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, that both teams only get 1 point each. Now the second match was the Block A. This is the debut team of course, of Wasahoy Anaki, consistent of Ayami Hayashi and Ryo Nizunami, taking on my favorite tag team, the Best Bros. However, in this particular match, I did like how it happened. Bali Aki is more of an honorable wrestler. The reason I say this, he's not just facing a regular tag team. He knows that one half of the tag team that he's facing is Ryo Nizunami. We all know who she is. Those who do know who she was part of the first ever AEW Double or Nothing show back in 2019 and participated in the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator, where she won the Japanese bracket and won in the finals, faced against Hikaru Shida in the Revolution, and it pretty much Balinaki acknowledged it. But however, he had to control Mai Seguruga because she's out of control. But the match was unbelievably good. I have to say, one of the best matches I enjoyed with this one, especially with the Best Bros taking on this group. I enjoyed it the most. But however, once again, both teams ended in a time limit draw. So that means each of them will get 2 points. Now let's go to the point system. Let's go Block A. Best Bros only have 1 win and 2 draws, so that leads with a total of 4 points. Choppy Wild are in fact they got 1 win and 1 draw, so that's a total of 3 points. Dragon Ninja 2 losses. That leads 0 points. Uh, Wasoi Anaki, 1 draw, so they only got 1 point. So basically, in the lead in Block A, we have Best Bro. So basically, they could win the entire thing. Now let's go with Block B. Melt Brain Dancing. We got 1 win and 1 draw, so that is a total points of 3. Um, White Komanase only has 1 draw and 2 losses, so they only have 1 point. Egg Tart, 1 win and 1 loss, 2 points. Mi Sayaka, 1 win so far, they only have 2 points. However, in this one, we only have Melt Brain Dancing with 3 points in the B block. They could be in the lead. Now, I could point out that Melt Brain Dancing could be the team to win the B block, and I can point out that maybe Best Bros have a chance to win it. But however, I think that Tropical Wild could be the team that could catch up to them. That all depends how it's going to be proceed, but there will be more. The next uh, uh, ChocoPro event, they'll have more on OOAK Tag League. It's going to take place on July 3rd. So I think that's pretty much it with Gatoh Move ChocoPro. So let's keep moving forward. Okay, so we're back with New Japan Pro Wrestling. This time we're going with day 11 on Kizuna Road, but this time there is no championship matches. But however, they have 3 matches that are involving the 3 competitors from the competitors involving the Never Openweight Championship title match. We have, of course, 2 matches with our consistent of 6 man. So let's go with that first. First match, we have Bullet Club consistent of Yado, El Fantasma, and Taiji Shimuru taking on Suzuki-gun members Doiki, um, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Desperado. Now keep in mind, Taiji Shimura is scheduled to face Despy for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, which he now currently holds is one half of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. That is something we know that's going to happen, but we just gotta wait and see. But the match itself, it was alright, you know, even though it felt like Bullet Club could, uh, excuse me. Basically, Taiji Shimura is determined to send a message to Despy to prove that that title strongly belongs to the Bullet Club. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But however, this match ended, and that I think El Fantasmo pinning this match, winning for his team. Next up for the next 6 man tag team match, we have um, Lij, Bushi, Sanada, and Naito taking on Suzuki-gun, consistent of Minoru Suzuki, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi. Now, this is one of those matches where we do know Sanada and Naito are going to face the Dangerous Tekkers, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi for the IWGP Heavyweight titles. Basically, Taichi and Zack don't believe that they have what it don't earn the tag team because they believe they're here to fix it. In reality, they just want to hold the titles. But it's going to be a very interesting thing. But however, it was Zack Sabre Jr. that pinned um, Bushi into this to ensure the victory for his team. Now, the next 3 matches are consistent of the competitors involved in the Never Openweight 6 man tag team title match taking place soon. So let's go with the first one. We have Hiroyoshi Tenzan taking on Yoshihashi. Now, this match was pretty good. However, I did like how it ended with Yoshihashi putting up the butterfly effect on Tenzan, winning the match. So it could prove that maybe there is a chance that Chaos could retain the Never Openweight 6 man tag team titles. But however, the next match consisted of Satoshi Kojima and Hiroki Goto. This match was so good. I enjoyed. Kojima has been one of those wrestlers I have paid attention for the past couple of years. He is phenomenal, even for a guy his age. And I say I was surprised that he won his match but we'll see how that goes because he pulled it off with the lariat that he normally does. And finally, we got Blue Justice taking on the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii. Great match. I have to say this is one of the biggest rivalries that ever happened between those two. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen, but this is a match that was worth watching. However, it was Tomohiro Ishii that won this match fair and square, and we're gonna see what's gonna take place on the July 2nd of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, NXT UK, here we come. The opening match was Isla Dawn versus Amelia McKenzie. Now, Isla Dawn recently was in the face of Amelia McKenzie about a couple weeks ago, demanding this match. There was a moment in this match where it looked like she had the devil paying her a visit, but however, Amelia McKenzie pulled it off. But for whatever reason, after losing the match, Isla Dawn seemed like she was happy. It looks like the demons are trying to tell her something. I don't know. But we'll see where they're going to go. Now, if you all recall recently, the Gallows Boys, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, have been trying to outdo each other in singles competition. I don't know what Mark Coffey was planning, but it looks like this kind of explains it. Because the following thing we saw was the Heritage Cup match between Jack Stars and Tyler Brett. I had to say it was a pretty good match, despite the fact maybe Jack Star wasn't the right guy, but he put up a really good show, showing that it's okay, kid, you got this. Don't worry about it, and it felt pretty good. Tyler Bate had a pin on him, and so did Jack Stars, and it kind of froze it. But however, the next pin belonged to um, Tyler Bate. But however, here comes Mark Coffey. I don't know what he was thinking, but he slapped Tyler Bate. I don't know if it's like one of those things where you grab a glove and you slap someone saying, I challenge you to a duel. I don't know if that's what exactly Mark Coffey was looking for, but we'll see what happens down the line. Now, Sid Scala has been trying to give um, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster an opportunity of the NXT Tag Team titles. However, Pretty Deadly doesn't believe they earn it. So, Sid Scala put them in a position where, okay, you want that? Then if Mark Andrews faces you, Lewis, if he wins, they get a tag team title. So I don't think Pretty Deadly likes that, but it has to happen. Now the next thing we have is the brand new NXT UK Women's Champion. Now before I move forward on this one, it was later revealed there was a reason why Kaylee Ray had to drop the title. She just recently got married. There's some photos you can find on social media or any of the news outlets. But I would like to say congratulations, Kaylee Ray, on your wedding. Hope we get to see you back again in NXT UK. So that leads right now to Meiko Satomura. Now we don't know who could be the next challenger. If we all know, Meiko Satomura has a target on her back. The first person who kind of responded was Nina Samuels. So basically, we haven't seen her since she was becoming the helper for uh, Zaya Brookside. But this time, she looks like she wanted to make a statement, but she was viciously attacked by the French Amelia. If you guys remember her, she attacked Zaya Brookside in order to get an opportunity of the NXT UK Women's Championship due to the fact she felt that she's being overlooked. She thought by attacking Zaya Brookside she gets rewarded. Siskala refuses, but now she looks for the opportunity to challenge her. And of course, Meiko Satomura accepted the challenge, but she will not tolerate her blabbering. Next up, I was right about this person, Blair Davenport. It was revealed to be formerly known as B. Priestley. So this was a very long time in the making. I was fully aware 2 years ago that WWE had their sights set on B. Priestley. Finally, they did it. We know that she was released from AEW last year because they were unable to bring her here due to restrictions, but it is what it is. The next match we have Mila Schmidt taking on Aoife Valkyrie. It was a very interesting match, but however, this is becoming a very interesting story build up where Aoife saw Ginny watching on. Now, Ginny has been on a warpath against anybody who she believes are unworthy, and Aoife is no exception. But however, do we think this is a rivalry that is should happen? I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get there. Now, what's his name? Now we got to the main event. Jordan Devlin taking on A Kid. What an unbelievable match! But the ending was so brutal, where Jordan Devlin bent the knee onto A Kid, allowing him to tap out. We don't know if how extensive is his injuries or this is part of the storyline. We don't know, but we'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks with A Kid, and hopefully if he's not injured, then we know he's playing the story well, or if he is, then he'll be out of action for quite some time. But let's move forward with Impact. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to review is Impact Wrestling. There was a part that was never showed before. Apparently, Kojima and Eddie were considering before Kojima leaves to Japan is to face off each other one for one time. Apparently, they were interrupted by W. Morrissey with his little propaganda saying that nobody's your friends, that they are nothing but frauds about this. So the match was supposed to take place in the beginning of the event. However, W. Morrissey attacked Eddie Edwards, but however, he was interrupted by once again Brian Myers, who claims that he is the most professional wrestler. So that's what happened. However, Kojima does not appreciate someone like him. He thinks that Kojima, he's no longer professional. He's old. So that's disrespectful. But of course, Jake Something, who had issues with Brian Myers saying that he's not professional, decided to give a helping hand. It became a tag team. Myers and his little young boy decided not to get no involvement. But however, the match was pretty good. It was very interesting. But it was Kojima that put away Sam Beal, and it was over with the 1-2-3. Now, Scott D'Amore has been dealing a whole lot. He knows that he has Tommy Dreamer as the representative anthem, but he had to deal with Havoc and Rosemary, who wants to have an opportunity of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team titles, which, of course, later on we saw Kara Hogan and Tasha Steelz are not too pleased. They believe it's unfair. They believe that they're the ones who got there from the bottom to the top, and they feel why not they could do that. But Scott D'Amore, he always has a way to make the match happen, so he gives them an opportunity to prove that they earned an opportunity to face for the Knockouts tag title. So that's something that Hogan and Tasha Steelz don't like, but they have to do it. Next match we have is Tennille Dashwood along with Caleb and Decay taking on Rachel Ellering. This particular match was a rematch to a couple weeks ago where Tennille Dashwood has been stirring the pot between Rachel and Jordan Grace, believing that Rachel Ellering is better off without Jordan, but she forgets Jazz was the one who put them together. The match was good, but however, Caleb with Decay got in the way, disqualified Tennille from the match, but however, Jordan showed up. Now, it was still unclear what was going to happen. Will Jordan rejoin Rachel Ellering and try again, or be her enemy? Turns out, she sides with her. So, for now, that's the happy ending on Rachel's side. Now, Chris Bay, once again, we all know what happened. He refuses to participate in the onslaught, even though they warned him that he has to pick a side. Ace Austin and Rohit Raju, along with their muscle, showed up saying that they congratulated not getting involved. So basically, Chris Bay wants the title for himself, but it appears him being alone may be a strategic mistake because they believe that they have the numbers game. That's pretty much what is going on. The next match we have is TJP and Follow Ball taking on Rich Swann and Willie Mack. The match started out great, but however, Violent by Design attacked them because they don't want to face their challengers for the Impact Wrestling knockout tag team titles. But we'll see who will possibly will be the team to dethrone them once things are getting a little clearer. Now, Chris Bay was set to face against Petey Williams. Awesome match. It did prove Chris Bay could be one of the potential competitors to gain the X Division title. But however, when the match was over, apparently here comes the Alliance, try to take out the competition. Even Alexander and Trey Miguel tried to get involved, but numbers game. But Chris Bay made the decision to help out, and he actually did, which was very unusual, but it became honorable on his part. Now, Susan and Kimber have been dealing with this whole fallout with Deonna Purrazzo, who they believe she's being ungrateful. But Kimberly actually did say something like she has a backup plan, and she mentioned a name that possibly Deonna Purrazzo will not want to hear ever again, and that name is Su Yung. Now, Jake Something issued a challenge against what's his name? The most professional wrestler, um, Brian Myers. He says, "Here's the stipulation: if I lose, I get to tell you you are the most professional wrestler. But if you lose, you have to tell me I am a professional wrestler." Now, Brian Myers never believed that he is professional, but frankly, he did accept it, but he does not want to hear it. He wants the young boy to hear it. That's pretty much it, what he was doing. Now, we all saw Stephen Macklin made headways in Impact, showing that he means business. Once again, he's faced against another guy named Manny Smith. Very hard hitting, very much showing who he is and who excuse me, who is going that he's the guy that not to be tolerated. So that's pretty much how they're starting to build up with this. Now we get to the main event, which was the Good Brothers and Kenny taking on Team Dreamer, consistent of Chris Sabin, Moose, and Sami Callihan. Now the match itself, it kind of went exactly how we expected. Sabin and Moose are not getting along because Sabin has issued a challenge against Moose at Slammiversary, but anything could have happened, but it did. And of course, Don Callis pushed Tommy Dreamer behind Moose, and he thought it was him. So basically, stirred the pot up. But however, the match ended with the Good Brothers winning the match. So anybody could stop Kenny. We'll see how it goes in the upcoming weeks when we get to Slammiversary. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really, really enjoyed talking to you guys, reviewing every event that I can find. I believe the next one we have coming is gonna feature more on the New Japan Pro Wrestling Kizuna Road, 205 Live, New Japan Strong, and of course a promotion that I've heard of but I haven't got the chance to see it. They were part of last year's collective bundle for WrestleMania week. That is AIW, which is Absolute Intense Wrestling, with their event that took place earlier in mid June. Major announcement, but we'll see how that goes. If I these are 4 events that I will review in the following episode, but we'll see how it goes. If it's not, then I'll just put in the 3. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.